we should be live. I'm just gonna...
Well, it says it's now streaming live.
Wonderful. I'm just preparing to turn the volume down. There we go. There we go. Welcome everybody to Love Speaks Love. This is a fairly impromptu, spontaneous Love Speaks Love with my dear sister, Zahara Celestial. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh, thank you for stepping in. Had a cancellation and I was like, I'm getting the nudge to still do a show. So thank you very much for honouring us with your presence. And it's awesome to see you in your new place as well.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Feels good. Feels good. Okay, I'm just going to share. If anybody feels to share, that would be awesome. Oh, I didn't tag you actually. I don't think it gave me the option. So, oh, we have people. Thank you.
Cool. Share it on mine. Okay, share to you.
Share it on there. Share it on Love Speaks Love. So just bear with us a second or two. All right. I think that will do. So while people are joining us, I am going to do the heart-to-heart connect. So if you're in a position to do so, I invite you to close your eyes and bring your awareness to your heart in the center of your chest. Breathing in love, breathing love to every cell of your body. Breathing out anything of the day so far, or the day ahead, or the week, or the month, or the year. And just bringing ourselves into this now moment. And just feeling your body relax as you connect to your heart and as you connect to the love that you are. And extending our heart awareness out to the heart of Gaia. To the diamond heart crystal that is Gaia's beautiful heart. Feeling cocooned in a blanket of love. Connecting to the New Earth templates and the crystalline grid of energy that emanates out from Gaia's beautiful heart. Extending our heart awareness out to the heart of the sun. Feeling, as well as Gaia's beautiful energies, feeling the solar energies moving into every cell of our bodies. And extending our heart awareness out to the heart of Source Creator. And feeling the love and the gratitude from Source. Moving into every cell of your body, deep into the DNA. And recognizing that we are all in one unified field of love. All of our hearts beating together as one. And just got a beautiful image of us all holding hands all over the globe. All of our hearts creating a beautiful web of light all around the planet. And just feeling the presence of the dragons. Many, many other beings, but the dragons were just making themselves known. So whether you're with us live in this now moment or in a future now moment, watching the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Beautiful.
That's better. Now, just as I look at the live, I see the number 8.
Wow.
And we were just talking for a little while before we came on live. And Zahara was just dealing with a spider situation. And as she mentioned that, it was 8:08 at the time. And spiders, I'll let you share, your whatever you feel about spiders as well, but figure of 8, like with the head and the body, 8 legs. And creativity as well, because they create their home, they create their world. And I've connected a lot with spiders over the years, and I almost feel like I have spider powers in kind of like weaving energy too. Mm-hmm. So what does spider mean to you?
When I, many years ago, started doing shamanic journeying, I'd always go through a tunnel of spiders. And interesting, that didn't scare me. That was interesting because they can scare me since a child. But I love their webs, and so I feel that the threads of life, I always feel resonant with like the celestial song, the threads and the weaving. So so the weavers of creation. So often where our fear is where our power is. So I have this fascination with them. And on 1/8 of the 8th, the Lion's Gateway, I got up very early, 2018, got up very early. When I still, part of me doesn't quite believe that I've moved, but when I was in London, got up very early to go to Hampstead Heath, and sat down on a bench. Actually, it was in Kenwood, which is joins on to Hampstead Heath, and a spider jumped on top of me, on me, and bit me twice. I'm like, I'm just sitting. I'm not anywhere, So then I got home, and my ankle just sort of got bigger and bigger, and I went and got some antihistamine, and it sort of dealt with it. And it was a very tiny little one. And it hurt. So I'm like, wow, that's an initiation. Why do you have to bite me though, for goodness sake? I'm like, I was a bit kind of wary of them anyway, but now they bite. So yeah, so that was a gift. That was a gift. So yeah, this one had a lovely energy, but it had a significant body. That was an 8 body. Like sometimes they're not so significant. So the one today, and I felt there was a sort of real communication, but it was still, I was like, no, you got to go. So where I am now, it's fields, woodland. So there's always something of a crawling nature I'm having to deal with. Yesterday it was an earwig in my t-shirts that I sleep in, sort of thing. I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. So yeah, a lot of things come in here. I'm on the ground floor, so yeah, that's what that's what they signify for me. So
Nice. I love that.
and change.
Mm.
It's been very windy recently. So I feel they're bringing in new codes, weaving in new codes, and they hold a very extraterrestrial vibration.
They're not from around these parts, are
They're
they?
not. Yeah, they're not.
There's nothing earthly about them. Like they're so unique as animals. Yeah, spiders have been a big part of my life. So I was really arachnophobic as a child. I had an incident where I was about 3. I lifted a plastic cup that had sugar in it when I think I maybe had to climb on something as well to get to the cupboard. Like I was very young. And just as I went like this to look in the cup, this spider ran up. And so I dropped it on the floor, screamed, and was running away from it, and the spider was following me. So in my mind, the spider was coming to get me. And it had the kitchen had a glass door, and when I closed the door, it was still running towards me. So that was where my fear came from. And I used to have dreams. I remember having this one nightmare where I was driving a car. So this is when I was 17 or 18, and I was driving a car and there was a spider there. So in my dream, I opened the car door, but that was me like getting the covers off the bed and actually jumping out of bed. Like, you know, I ran in my dream, but I ran in real life as well. And that actually happened to me in Australia. There was a huge huntsman spider. Whoa. And, you know, when I say huge, the body is the size of a small mouse. Like they're rainforest huntsmen, and they're huge, but they're really beautiful spiders. Like they're good to have around because they eat cockroaches and things, and they don't attack people, and they don't have a web either. They have a thread, but they don't live in a web. Like they just go wherever the food is, really. Right. And yeah, it had come down. It had obviously climbed over my head on the inside of the car, and it was just starting to come down the windscreen. And I'd had a dentist appointment, and I had 2 fillings. So I was numb on one side and I couldn't speak. The dentist laughed at me because my speech was so slurred. So I was trying to like pull the car over, and in doing that, it made it wobble. And it's got a tiny thread and a big body. So it was like wobbling around on like the top, and then it fell onto my car keys, and then it fell onto the floor of my car, and I didn't know where it was, and I had a skirt on, and I was like, ooh, and I had to just drive home, not being able to know where it was. And I took everything out of the car, but they live often in paperbark trees, which is a very flat, so they know how to flatten themselves and put all their legs like together in a line.
Oh wow.
So they're really hard to find. So I had to get back in the car, having taken everything out and not knowing where it was, and driving to town for something else because I had another appointment. So yeah, I remember like, put your shoulders down. I can't put my shoulders down. Like I was so tense. And then I did my shopping, came back, and it was just on the passenger seat.
Oh wow.
So I said to it, I had a telescopic umbrella, and I was like, mate, you're too big to be in my car. Like, will you please step onto this so that I can like put you outside? And it did. But I've had in my life so many spider incidents. So I really do think I've you know, maybe 13 or more close encounters with spiders. One was on my arm in the shower, and it ran up my arm and it hid behind my ear. and I didn't know where it was.
Oh my
And I had to
God.
get my housemate to like, I'm like, I've got a spider on me and I don't know where it is. And eventually like found it behind my ear.
Wow. Wow.
I had one on the toilet paper when I was sitting on the toilet and just pulled the toilet paper down and it kind of like came over the top. I'm like, that's cheeky. That's almost literally cheeky.
They're definitely going, hi.
I had one that ran up. I had an outside space for treatments and a cupboard. And I had like a sign with Denise's treatments on it. And there was a big wolf spider, like they're a bit antsy. They're like jumping spiders, but with a real attitude.
Oh no.
And it ran up my arm and on my back. And when they're still on your body, you actually can't feel them. It's really interesting. I guess because their weight is dispersed between 8 legs, you actually, unless they're moving, you can't feel them.
Of course, they'd be so light.
Yeah. Even though it was a big spider. And so I said, and I couldn't see it because it was on my back. So I said to these girls, have I got a spider on my back? And they ran off screaming.
Oh
God. So I kind of assumed it was still there, but that wasn't very helpful to me.
No.
When I was hit by the car and I was in the bath, trying to calm myself down, I could feel a drop of water going up my back. And that was a spider. And so I got my housemate. I was like, blow on it. Because if you go, that's what you're supposed to do with spiders, because the sudden gust of wind like makes them run. Right. But she was kind of going, I'm like, no, you've got to give it a proper. And another time with a bolt of lightning that was in the garden next door and was really loud, a spider was on my head and just started walking over my eye. So, and when the snake was on me as well.
Oh God.
When the second most venomous snake in the world was resting on my leg and I flicked it off, again, when I was calming myself down, a spider like ran across my shoulders.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely got a spirit guide is spider. Yeah. No, I have nothing to compare to any of that, thankfully. Just that one incident on the 8th of the 8th on 2018. That's it.
It does seem a bit disproportionate, doesn't it, really? And I'd managed to desensitize myself before I went to Australia. Like I wasn't phobic. But then I thought, hang on a minute. It's a phobia in the UK. Like you can't be hurt by a spider. I mean, you can be bitten and your legs swell up, but they're not gonna kill you. Yeah. And I thought, I wonder if it's gonna come back as an actual like deep fear. Yeah, I love spiders. I really, really love spiders now.
Wow.
I had one in the shower, another huntsman in Australia, and it was in the corner. Normally I'll just put a glass over them and take them out, but I couldn't get the glass down because the corner was square. And I tried putting the shower on and it just started jumping around. I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. So this was Sid. Sid was in my bathroom for ages. And I said to Sid, look, I'm freaking you out with the water. You're freaking me out a little bit because you're a little bit too large to share the shower with. So I got like about 8 pieces of toilet paper and I put it down and I said, will you please just crawl onto the toilet paper and then I can take you out? And it did. Oh. So, you know, I find them incredibly fascinating. And I love how the thread is so iridescent, you know, when the light shines on it and it shines like it's really magical. It shines rainbow colors.
Yeah.
And I love at certain times of the day, depending where the sun is, and you look on the ground if you're outside and you can see that there's spider threads everywhere.
And when I heard that swifts actually feed on baby spiders that float up really, really high by their threads up in the sky, that's what swifts feed on.
Wow.
So swifts I adore, and they are, you know, come for the summer, and they are connected to, they bring, you know, connect with the sun, and so they're connected with spider energy. So I feel they're both, you know, weaving those threads, those energy. And so there's, you know, many animal beings that well, all beings are working together in ways that we are rediscovering. So when you have like partnership like that, that's a real, you got the medicine of bird and air and the whole thing is swift. And every year I look forward to hearing their screech high in the sky, and they sleep on the wing.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Wow, at that speed.
So they only like become sort of stationary when nesting.
Ah.
So but so yes, that reminded me about like when you walk early in the morning and there's these threads just like what's going on. Yes, I love the frost. So I was walking a few days ago, and there's this ancient woodland near me with the bluebells and the orchids. It's like as if the bluebells are not enough, then there's orchids plural amongst the bluebells, and and there's deer and there's hare and there's badgers and there's pheasant, and there's a lot of activity going on. And then this old farmer comes in with his two old dogs, and I just immediately, it's his wood. Now it's not, it's people can walk in it, it's not a private woodland. And then I just kept having that thought, and that it was a feeling, it's his wood, it's his wood, I shouldn't be here. And then I'm like, that's a really weird feeling thought. It was a feeling thought. I'm like, it's not his wood, it's his wood. I went to apologize. I'm sorry for walking in your, are you okay with me walking in your wood? The thing is, it's not his wood, but he is a guardian of the wood. And it was just very precious to meet him, very profound. And I said, where are all the bees gone? He said, because he's a Welsh guy, so really, I don't know, looked like in his late 70s with a real bedraggled jacket on, and not, there's, because I'm in Monmouth where there's a lot of retired Hampstead Heath people that have got money, so he wasn't of that. Sorry, I was distracted because Gemma was wanting to go and sit, and the wires were interfering with her movement. Okay, so he was sort of, and he said, well, 65% of all insects have gone.
Wow.
So I've watched over the years the hedgerows go, the woodlands go, the change in farming. And so there weren't any swallows last year. I said, oh, I saw them today. He said, oh, they've come back this year. Yeah. And then he said, but it's heartbreaking, but what can you do? You just got to carry on. And that meeting is more than what I've conveyed, because, you know, we work on, so, like, you know this, but I'll just say it just to, we work on many layers. So that meeting on the human level is like, I really resonated with what he was saying. And I also still felt like, should I actually be walking in this wood? Should I be disturbing everything, especially with Gemma with chasing the pheasant? She never can get caught up with any of them fast enough. So I decided not to walk that frequently there, so to keep so not to disturb everybody. The wood has an energy that actually is happy for people to walk in the wood, because, you know, some woodland, it's like the energy there and the being's like, no way do they want you walking in there. So yeah, anyway, that's just a little story. So I feel there's lots of stories here, and it's interesting because Wales is the land of, you know, singing and song, and that's just come to me about all the myths and all the stories. And And all the assumptions that I have that a local farmer, why, you know, of course he knows what's happening with the land. He's witnessed it over the years. And then I had the woodland that's sort of a bit further along, and the being presence there quite a few, I don't know, a month ago. Just the reality of it is true, but also very profoundly, you just need one. And it wasn't just, it's not just that you need one seed of every tree to make a forest. It was, you need just one seed. I'm like, whoa. And I know there's been human beings that have done that have like you know, replanted, and then a whole ecosystem comes in, you know, because then I was thinking there's amazing instances of people saying they've cured themselves and shared they've cured themselves. And we are part of nature. So it's us remembering, well, Gaia is huge, and she evolves to hold all nature. So it's not that I'm going to walk around and go, oh, it doesn't fucking matter, and, you know, let's rip out everything. I don't want that, because I love beautiful beings, and they, you know, not just have a right here, they're beautiful. So I don't, and it's tragic, and I know, you know, there's a bigger picture. So I hold well, I feel that's part of the journey, is to hold it all. That for me is, it was I'm getting on my soapbox now, but if any awakening ascension was anything for me, it's inclusive of everything. That's what I've come to. It's like embracing everything. So it's holding, yes, there's spirit, yes, there's divine evolution, and yes, there's going to be a bigger picture in earth. There's going to be Gaia is going to be here well beyond, and she's evolving, and yes, there's other dimensions. Yes, Gaia has evolved into not just a fifth, but we haven't got numbers. All of it. So I care deeply, and it's not just my human. That bugs me. That's why I've gone like that. I am human. You know, we have this thing. There's another soapbox. Another thing. My human. What is that? You're separating yourself from being human when you go my human, or the human aspect. You are human. Excuse me. You're talking out of here, your mouth, or you're talking out of somewhere else. I'm being naughty now, but it's like, what is that about? Anyway, I'm being very naughty, but it's me going red. But so I'm like, I'm embracing being human.
I love how unnaughty your naughty is.
Pardon?
I love how unnaughty your naughty is.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, it's very mild.
In the bigger scheme of things.
But yeah, ascension is about, for me, not going up. It's expanding. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Now I've embarrassed myself.
No, I love what you're saying as well. And I watched something really interesting interview yesterday with that I watched with Regina Meredith, and a man who is, I think he's a microbiologist. I can't remember the name of his website, but he was talking about keystone. He was calling them keystone beings. So like the whales are a keystone being in the ocean, because if you cut back on the whales, the amount of thinking that you'll have more fish, it doesn't work that way. So having more whales means you have more fish. Having more sharks, he said, the great white is another one. And the wolves. So they reintroduced the wolves, was it into Yellowstone Park?
Oh yes, I know about that. Yes.
And then
everything came in. Yeah, because they're the top, the sort of, it's all part of the ecosystem. And yes.
Yeah, so I love how we're learning that things don't work as we thought that they did.
And I just thought the ignorance of, it is ignorance, not to be like aggressive, though I have in the past felt aggressive about it. Pesticides, keep them off the growing of the whatever they're growing. Oh, there's no insects anywhere else. yeah. Just like, oh my God.
We are the children of the planet, aren't we? With the, in the bigger scheme of things, you know, we like to think we're top dog, but we're not. Everyone
No.
else, all the other beings are like, oh, the humans, what are they doing? You know, the fairies and everything. They must just be
Yeah.
like,
Oh my
oh,
God. Yeah.
silly people, silly people. But they're only young. They don't know any better yet.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. And but the funny, because I did a walk down and I kind of did a video thing, and they've monoplanted there's 3 fields, so there's like whatever they're planted, but when the wind blows over it, the sacred geometry, you can, it move is all, I can see it because it's all the same height and the same plants.
Ah, so the
And
geometry of the wind, you mean?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I would not have seen that. So there's something else going on with the wind moving over that piece of the land.
yeah.
And so I stood there, and then some, and it's not, it doesn't seem, it doesn't make total sense to me, where there's a wind going, and then like one tree will be moving and not the trees beside that tree. You know, this thing, you know, if you just, if one I was just standing still and just observing that. Now, maybe if you were like a scientist or whatever, you're going to, with the height of this and the blah of that, and that's why the tree, this, that, and everything, that just reduces it all. But if you just kind of just observe beautifully, so, and then you get, it's so sensual.
Mm.
It because we are so sensitive. We're here to feel it all. And I just feel there's a divine reason for that. So all the, and you know, the old patriarchal 3D whatnot, whatever we want to call it, it's all about addiction and numbing and not feeling. And actually, it's not about overwhelm. It's not about being reactive or like whatever. That's emotions, which are fine if they allow to flow, motion, emotion. It's feeling. It's yeah. Anyway, so that's so when I that's what I discovered when I was re-waking myself up, which in the old paradigm for me is called, oh, if you're a medium or you're psychic. That again is separating out. It's our natural way of being. Children have it, of being sensitive. So when I became sensitive again, allowed myself to feel, that's what it was. Allowed myself to listen. It's very simple, but I just had to get over the blocks in the brain, the programming we would call. I just had to get over that. It's all in the head. It's all about the programming in the head, isn't it? So, and once I managed to leap over what one major block, then it all just fell apart in a good way.
I used to love walking on the beach on a windy day because you would see the pattern of the wind, because normally, like you say, you don't see the pattern of the wind because you can't, it's not really visible. But when the wind is blowing the sand and you see those beautiful, like, it's almost like water, like the patterns that are created are very watery, very, very beautiful. So how's Gemma liking being
Well,
there?
it's become a thing very quickly. Maybe it's part of her soul mission. She finds things. She loves finding bones, but now it's anything. Socks, plastic, I don't know. God, she comes out of the undergrowth or somewhere, and she looks like she's doing dressage. So she's there with her, picking up, doing this, presents it in the mouth, or a dead thing, remains of a dead thing. Remains of a dead thing or bone is yay. Discarded things, human things, you'll go, that'll come along, but the excitement is with a dead thing. So there, the particular walk, and then in her mouth, had it today, and then dig like this, really, really carefully, and with her bum tail bit wiggling. I do this. My friend said your voice, because I was on the phone with her yesterday, with a friend of mine. Well, this was happening. She was like almost pissing herself with laughter because I go, she said, what is it, the voice? What are you doing? Because it's like I'm like, oh my god, just I can feel the joy in Gemma, and then you're doing. So it's a thing. I do a thing, and so she buries it and then pushing the soil, and then we'll get where, and she remembers everywhere. Course, she's buried everything. Of course, now I'm remembering everything that she's buried. So she then then make sure it's there. If it's there, she takes it out and then puts it somewhere else. So and then with the pheasants, with the hares, with the mice, whatnot, the deer. I've noticed deer and hare when she hasn't, which is quite interesting. So I came across some deer. There's this particular bit, it was a very fairy bit, and they're just so magical. They're big, but they shapeshift into being able to move into the smallest, most dense undergrowth. It's like, how can they fit in there silently? They're really magical because they're big. And it was the whole, I didn't really call them the herd of them, but they were there. What do you call it, a whole lot of deer? Is there a thing? You have a herd of?
I'm going to look it up.
Anyway, so they were there, and there's ears propped up, and it's just so magical. They're so, I think they're so connected with unicorn energy. And then yesterday I was walking and came across a mum and a dad with their daughter. And the daughter, I wish I'd said, but she had a unicorn. She had a whole fairy outfit with a headdress with a unicorn. And she was in Magic Land. She just looked so happy. And I was like transfixed. I'm like, oh gosh, how wonderful it is to be, I just want to dress up like that, to be quite honest. And I'm like, would that be amazing?
What's stopping you exactly?
Well, there isn't. There isn't actually. There isn't. I feel there isn't now. I feel I've let so much go by physically taking. It was big. I've been in London for, still can't believe it, part of me, since I was 18 and I'm 53. So a long time. And I love the heath. That's what kept me there. So I miss the oaks and the spirit beings there, and the yeah, now I've gone over to that.
Unicorn child.
Yes, and it was a thing, a process to detach myself from that, and I feel I'm living another life. I've got to do that. I've got to physically move to change, and I'm doing it. I don't want to sound like big ego-y. I think we're all doing this. I had to do that for me and everybody. That's the it's possible. And also to catch up to where I am, because this would have freaked me out a few years ago, with
Yeah.
all the journey, the story of being homeless as a child and la 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 la. It's like, it's not freaking me out. Do I need to freak myself out because I'm not being freaked out? You know, it's just like, and it's like, oh, who am I? And so I had to, you know, let go of physical stuff. Do I want it literally, because I have to lug it, I have to pack it and carry it, and so that's what we're doing on many levels. And so yeah, it enabled me to physically hold and do what we're all doing. So a divorce will do it, losing a job will doing it, this pandemic's doing it, you know, it's like getting ill will do it. So it's like, okay, I'll do it, rather it be done to me or feel I'm victim to whatever. I'll take the initiative and I'll move to anyway.
It's interesting what you were saying about, I mean, you weren't quite saying this, but this made me think of it. So I've spent quite a lot of time on my own since I've moved into a house on my own, and I'm very used to talking to myself. I'm very used to laughing at home alone, and sometimes when I walk in nature as well. Like if something makes me laugh, I try not to hold it in. But I can see how, you know, if there's anyone around, they would think that woman's a bit loopy around there. And it's interesting to observe that because I've not been in society, that when I go back into society, I might come across as being, you know, more eccentric, and I don't care anymore either. Like I care much less if people see me laughing or whatever when I'm out in nature, and part of me actually wants to, you know, because I'm very used to talking to the trees and the birds, and normally you hush it a bit if there's someone around and you'll just do it telepathically. But part of me still wants to say, hey, pretty, oh, that song's beautiful, to the blackbirds or the robins or whatever, you know? And maybe through that, we will change the norms.
I just realized that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm not, I don't know whether I dialed it down when I was on the heath, but I'm not doing it now. And I think it is that kind of, oh, fuck it now, you know. And I don't think because of because we've kind of been in our own whatnot place, but also I'm like, enough of enough. This is all the masking. It's like enough. I can't be doing with it.
This first sign of madness, you know, that was always said, wasn't it? If you talk to yourself, first sign of madness. And it may well be, but it doesn't mean that everyone who's talking to themselves is on that path of insanity. I think it's actually more sane to talk to yourself. Surely everybody talks to them. Does anybody not talk to themselves?
We're always talking. It's like we're not aware, exactly. We're not aware of the layers of talking and the noise. And so I feel that kind of when people get drunk, to kind of get that social filter out, so then they can just verbalize whatever is there running. But becoming awakened is so you be aware of the unconscious talking. And I think there's such a fear of what we might reveal, that the whole idea of like going wild, rewilding and mad. And yeah, one of my big awakenings was in Wales, when I knew that mountain. They said you stay overnight, you either become back mad or a poet. I'm like, that's the place I've got to go. Now, yeah, it's interesting because like you got the Welsh, the Taliesin, you know, there's a lot of who became like this, who became an oracle, who then had the gift of foreseeing the future, but would many would think he was mad, you know, and so much. We're in an amazing time where more and more people are seeing UFOs, and so for so long it was like, well, there's something wrong with you, you know, there'd be jokes, are you going to wear like a tinfoil hat now, and oh, conspiracy theory. And now it's like, oh, the you know, USA government now going, yeah, there are UFOs, but we've all, oh, anyway, it's a big thing. But I you know, and I had that dream, which they showed me, that it's going to get really busy up in that sky. I mean, it's already getting a bit busy, but it's going to get really busy. And then just on a, because I like tracking, like it gets dropped in the mainstream media.
Hi there.
Oh, hello.
Surprise.
On my phone because I couldn't get back home in time to either get on my tablet or my computer, but I think this will work.
It's working so far. So you've just come in on us talking about talking to ourselves, and that is actually a very sane thing to do. It might be the first sign of badness, but we were saying we reckon everyone talks themselves. And then Zahara was just talking about the UFOs and how we're kind of like changing in society in our approach to beings from other planets as well. So that's where we're a very appropriate time for this Arcturian goddess that is Maryanne Savino, for anyone that doesn't know, to join us. Welcome.
Hi, I'm so glad I could make it. Yeah, it's been an interesting time for sure. And we have a new moon coming in tomorrow in Taurus, so that should be fun. New beginnings. Yeah.
Anything else about that particular?
You know, I'm not sure what time it's coming in. I know it is tomorrow, and because it's a new moon, it's new beginnings, so we can plant a seed. And then the fact that it's in Taurus, it's all about the senses and being grounded and moving slowly. It's the feminine, it's the sacred cow goddess. Yeah. So, you know, the energy of the divine mother coming in pretty strong. I think it's also a good time to set clear intentions for what you want to manifest in your life. So when you plant the seed on the new moon, 2 weeks later with the full moon coming in, you know, you planted the seed and then it starts to sprout and blossom, and then yeah, it's a powerful time. And I believe the next moon will be a full moon in Sagittarius, and it is an eclipse on the 26th. Wow. So this is like the precursor to get headed into that. I think it's a good time to create magical opportunities for ourselves, to really step into the joy and magic of creating. You know, we're in a new time. We've gone through incredible challenges with, you know, things happening all around the world. And this is a time to start to begin to create even more of the new world, and to trust that, you know, this path is leading us somewhere positive. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
How was the 555 for you?
We were just talking about that yesterday on Celia Fenn had a gathering, and you know, the first day or two it felt great, and then all of a sudden I got slammed. I was like, oh my God, where did the good stuff where did it go? Where's that good feeling? Where do I want it back? Please, please, where are you? Come back, don't leave. But I think that, you know, when these energies come in, we have to remember something, that the frequencies come in and it starts pushing on all the dense stuff, all the yucky stuff. And of course, the first thing is it starts coming up and you're like, oh no, not this again. But we have to remember that when that happens, okay, this is what I'm changing my whole verbiage and saying, okay, this energy is coming in. It's helping me to move forward in a greater way, helping me to move through whatever is stopping me or blocking me. So as the energies come in, we could say, thank you. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to move through this. And then I ask my higher self, my guides, my angels, please keep helping me. If I'm having a rough time, I'll say, I really need your help. Please keep helping me. Because I do believe that, they're always here to help us. But if we don't ask, they're not just going to jump in. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. How about you, Zahara? Did you, how was it?
I was really tired. I'm only just now getting my energy back. And then I had a galactic intervention with a heavy load of light coming in, focusing on the pineal. And that was like literally mind-blowing. And just as you're saying, Maryanne, it was, I was saying to someone today, actually a friend, I am now familiar, almost homely, with a lot of light, a lot of shadow.
Yeah.
It'll be up, it will be down, up and down, and then it eases up. And also I will get a lot of tiredness, as in I feel I can't hardly walk.
Yes.
And I also know that at times I'm like wide awake.
Yeah.
And I also know that if I get out in nature, that exhaustion goes. So it becomes like a mind thing of, okay, how much do I need to rest? Trusting that, listening to the body, because one day, and it changes so quickly. So one day it's like, okay, what I'm learning is listen to my body. Rest. Why are you fighting it? What is this about? You actually have been gifted in gifting yourself the space to be able to rest. I haven't got a 9-to-5 job and kids and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. I actually have space in the day where I can do that. So what I suddenly realized how much programming I was running about push, deny. Oh my God, what's happening? Something's going wrong. It must be because I'm ill. Because I'm not physically performing, I have dis-ease. That means I'm ill. I'm like, what the fuck? Programming. Just lie down. I'm like, what is going on? And then another time it was, I'll go for a walk. I'm knackered. That's fine. Is your body, I love doing this, whereabouts in your being are you feeling tired? Is your arm knackered? No. Is your arm aching? No. Where's the tiredness? Oh, where is it actually? Oh, it's now lifting. Where's it lifting from? Oh, that doesn't fucking matter actually anyway. Be in the moment. But I'm just like, so yeah. So it's been for this time, me tuning into listening to my body and befriending my body and knowing my body is speaking to me and trusting that. And yeah, that's what this whole time.
I'm so glad you brought this up, because we just talked about this. Celia Fenn and I said, I keep pushing. I'm like you said, why am I doing this? But why? This is a program that says you're lazy, you better get up and do something. Don't sit around. It's like, shut up. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to lay back down, put on Netflix, and grab some popcorn.
It is, I find it hard to just be and not do in that being. I received a session, I don't even know when it was, a couple of weeks ago, might have been last week, some point quite recently. And I was like, I don't watch movies. I never do that. But I'm on Amazon Prime now, so I can do. And it was a real challenging process to actually choose a video to watch. I'd watch a few minutes and go, oh no, turn it off and put another one on. And then I went, oh no, I don't like this. And I was like, what should I choose? Something with fairies in. That was what I put as the like. And I ended up, yeah, I watched a couple, but I find it a bit of a challenge to just sit and watch a movie and just be. And for me, so I did a show with David Maria last week, and there was so much energy coming in. Like my crown was, you know, it was almost like pressure coming through. It was a bit of a challenge to string a sentence together. I didn't remember introducing him, and I thought I hadn't, but when I watched some of it back, I was like, oh, I did introduce him. I just didn't recall. So that was on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It was that day. So May 5th, I walked to the bottom of the garden to have my morning cup of coffee there, and I felt like I was walking up a mountain. And then when I sat there, I was like, I'm just staring. And that's all right. So I just stared a lot on May the 5th, and my body felt like it was made of lead. And yeah, so the same as you were saying, like it really felt like I was walking uphill. It was like, gosh. And I said this to Candice quite recently. I'm not sure if I'm walking really slowly. I can't get my perspective on it. Sometimes I feel like my body's made of lead and I'm walking really slowly, but I don't know if I am walking slowly or if I'm just walking normally. And I don't know if that's partly a comparison to, you know, the work that we do at night is at light speed. Like at light speed, you can go from one place to another, and you're, you know, so when you're back in your physical body, it feels really heavy and, you know.
The density. Yeah. Well, that, you know, not only did we have the 555 gateway, and 5 is all about the freedom to change. But we had the Schumann was not the red, but the actual power, the amplitude went.
Whoa. Yeah.
And we had some solar flare stuff going on. So that's going to definitely put you flat on your back. And I think it's supposed to. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you're supposed to move.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Be still. Yeah. Yeah. We got this whole thing. Oh, you know, ascension symptoms. Symptom for me can be linked to dis-ease. It's like, no, let's throw away. I don't know anybody who has used the word symptom for recently anyway, which is good for me. But it's like, it's not something going wrong. I think the programming goes so deep. And of course it does. It's
changes. There are changes taking place, and I'm experiencing them, and everything is in divine order.
Yeah.
Symptoms, you're right. Every time you hear the word symptom, oh, I'm sick, I'm ill.
Yeah. I think we're kind of needing new language.
Yeah, what could we use instead? Because signs and symptoms often go together, don't they? But they're still, to me, as a nurse, a sign and symptom was how we learnt about diseases. Or, you know, we learnt about the signs and symptoms of diseases. So I put those two words together. What could we use instead? Like sign on its own is not so bad, but to me, I would associate it with symptom.
It's like a message, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ascension changes. I'm rebooting. I'm rebirthing. I'm going through a shift, and it's all happening for the greater good for myself and everybody involved.
And
I agree. I have to go on my website now and take out ascension symptoms. Now that you said it, I'm like, oh, it's on my website. I got to get that out of there.
I know sometimes I feel like I can't hardly talk. I'm like, I'm saying something. I'm like, oh, what's that? Whoa, rewind. No, scrap that. And I'm noticing all the time, like, and how that is all the time. There's another one. Linked into linear time. Everything is linked in to program us that everything is linear. It's not. So much is about how we think about who we are, you know, in linear terms. It's very automatic. And so I actually enjoy it, though it might feel annoying to other people. I don't know. I'll be like saying something. I'm like, whoa, no, hold on, back up. But I love what you said about choosing. To me, that's where I feel and a lot of us are now. And that's divine will with human will. And that's choice. That's turning on our divine mind, our consciousness, like our divine ego. You know, it's saying, there's a point where we with our thought, we go, I choose. Yeah. There's yes, opening the heart, and then there's the mind, the higher mind drops in and goes, now I choose. There's something about being in the physical and going, this is why we're in the physical, to anchor it in by I chooses. We choose because we're sovereign, and we say all these words, but I feel it's through experiencing it. Now I'm understanding so much more, because I feel we are arriving at a place of going, the aha moment is when we choose. It's, oh, I get it now. Now I'm choosing it.
Yeah.
I feel it's so, it doesn't sound very romantic or woo-woo, because it's more, it's the sacred masculine bit coming in. It's the solar plexus coming together with the third eye. It's the, you know, it's the, I'm following my compass, and this is where I'm going now. This is it. This is it.
Definitely. I totally resonate with that.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we've got an eclipse coming up, and it felt like the end of April was quite intense for me. There was a lot of stuff going on for me. And not just me, but, you know, I'm just speaking for me right now. And it felt like that was preparation for the 5-5 gateway too. And then, so the next big thing is the full moon with the eclipse.
Yes.
Wow.
And then we have another eclipse following 2 weeks in June, right before we come into solstice. So I think June, I get this sense there's going to be a big rebirthing with these eclipses. And when we come into the solstice, that's going to be a major time of, what do I really desire to create? What do I choose in my life? Where in my life do I need to make these changes? How can I live in alignment with the earth and where she's headed? I think it's really important. I do. I feel it's coming in stronger and stronger every day. It's more and more, the energies are intensifying.
And then we've got the 6, there'll obviously be a 6-6 that actually feels quite potent too.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel from a distance like as potent as the 5-5, but it still feels significant.
Well, it's right before the next eclipse. It's a few days before. So we're going from the one eclipse into the June 6th gateway, into the next eclipse, and then into the solstice. So I think that, yeah, we have another wave coming in.
Wow. Sure. And that's so in alignment with so many people are saying, what do I want to do now? So many people are coming to me going, I don't know what I want to do, but it's not what I was doing, but I don't know what I want to do. And for a lot of people, I'm saying it's being in the big question mark, because the new isn't all sorted.
Yeah.
So with all those, what you've mentioned, with all the eclipses and that energy and the solstice, really is going to be assisting everybody who is feeling that, and to embrace that unknowing, to rebirth. Because I think that's a big fear, isn't it, with humanity, and then the bodies, the organizations, the whoever's that are wanting to, with their agenda, to control everybody.
Living in the unknown can be daunting at times, but there's also an excitement on the other side of it that says, oh, but something wonderful can be birthed out of this.
Yeah.
Follow that essence and stay away from the big fear energy, like, oh, you better not do that, or oh, well, what are you going to do to earn a living, or oh, you better not leave. It's like, go away. I don't want to hear that old verbiage, that old story that has kept me limited. Yes, I know I'm human. I came in as a human for this ascension journey. My soul wanted to have this human experience. I get that. But we are at a pivotal time, I really feel, where we can manifest magic. We really have the ability to do that, or we would not be here.
Yeah. And I've had that happen to me more and more and more, being shown even when I'm not consciously asking, but I realize I'm actually am asking for that. So it's actually becoming conscious of that choosing, which, so then that's the becoming awakening, isn't it? Becoming more conscious. It is, because that's why I moved into the unknown. I've never been to this part of Wales, saw the house for like 15 minutes, don't know anybody here. So, and I was talking to someone yesterday about it's when you're in that, and I don't know how else to say it.
I love your space, by the way. It's lovely. It's got nice energy.
Oh, thank you. And you. Victim, things being done to us, hopelessness, helplessness. When you're in it, you're in it. You can't see out of it. And the way out of it is to take the leap of faith. But you don't effing want to do that. Because when you're in it, you're in it. And I don't know how, I think we each individually, that's part of it, is to take the leap of faith going, fuck, that is part of it. So I say to people, you've got to get, but there's that point when you sort of take the leap, then it becomes fuck, woohoo! And
into the abyss. Are you crazy? You jump into the abyss first, and I'll see if you come out okay, and then I'll jump in.
Yes. So I was sort of feeling this. I really been getting that we are. I know other people have been saying it. I've been a bit of in denial about it. Pretty much all my life. I remember being as a child knowing I felt I was different from everybody, but I don't want to be different for everybody because we're all unity. So it becomes a thing. But I am embracing that I and others like you and Denise came here to be the frontier to and that's a tricky one to hold.
Yes.
Because coming from hierarchy, patriarchy, I'm like, I'm not better than.
Right.
So how do I hold that? So I'm like, but there's something that's come in more like, yeah, I had that as a child. I know I had that. I remember thinking and knowing that. And then I got stuck in all the, whatever, I got involved in the play of everything. And now it's like, okay. This, I am gifted. Things happen and always have. And I've assumed others could do, and then they couldn't. And then I was confused, why not? So I'm here for a purpose. So that's what I'm sitting with now. It's like, stop denying that.
I just posted about that. I remember hearing myself say this a few times. Well, I can't leave the earth until I fulfill my purpose. I'm not ready to go because I haven't fulfilled my purpose. And I'm thinking one day, but I am. I'm in my purpose right now, living it. There's nowhere to get to. This is it. I'm in my purpose. I'm fulfilling it just by being here and breathing every day and being in my sense of divinity. And that took a lot of pressure off of me. I felt like something got lifted, like, yes, Be here now, living in your purpose with every breath that you take, every step,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
breath, every movement. You're in it. This is it. I am fulfilling my purpose. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
fulfilling your purpose. We are fulfilling our purpose.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that you're on top of your game every day. Like that's not what it's about. And surrender seems to have been very, very present of late. And that, you know, that word came in when you were talking about jumping into the abyss and you know, you Zahara moving there as well. It's very much letting go of that control, letting go of even trying to control it, and just allowing, you know, and just really being open to whatever it is, you know. And adaptability seems a key word at the moment too. And I remember hearing years ago that adaptability was coming up, like your intuition might be telling you to go down here, and then you get there and go, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I feel like I need to go there. And it wasn't that the message was wrong to get you there. One of the things that I was hearing at the time was, this is about you learning to be adaptable. You're learning to, oh, we're going this way. Oh, actually, not anymore. We're not going that way. We're now going this way. And this is the time when adaptability is absolutely key. Like we have to be adaptable now. You can't be like, no, I want things to be how they were last week, because it's, you know, it's continually changing. So we have to, yeah, just surrender to that and allow ourselves to be adaptable in every way. Like the adaptability is on so many levels. Thinking we know what we're doing on our spiritual journey, thinking we know a few things and then go, oh, that's not how it is after all. You know, the adaptability is just so across the board.
Yeah, it's like allowing the river of life to take you instead of going against the current, which we don't, I mean, I know when I do that, I don't even realize that I'm doing it. I get stubborn and it's like, what do you mean? Why can't? And I'm like, wait a second, hold on. If you surrender and let go, maybe it's going to take you someplace better. I'm like, no, I have to do it this way. And it's like, but yeah, it's like that courage to step into the unknown and say, okay, universe, here I am. I'm on this journey. What's next? What's the next sacred step, sacred action for me to take? Show me. I'm here. And shaking and shivering. Oh my God, what am I doing? This is crazy. But a lot of times in that surrendering moment of, okay, I'm fulfilling my mission right now by breathing and living right now. I can do this because I am doing it. I'm here. I'm living it right now. It may not always feel so amazing, wonderful, but then the times when it does, it's worth it. It's worth going through the current, you know, being, you know, taken through the rapids of the storm and coming out. It reminds me of a dream I had many years ago. I was in water. It looked like it was Hawaii or a tropical place. And I'm in the water, and there was a man in the water with me who I didn't know, and he was very vibrant. And I said, "Who is this person?" And then the water got really cold, and then I saw a big shadow, and I turned around, and it was a humongous tsunami. And I said, "Oh no, oh no!" And he said, "It's okay. You're going to be okay." I said, "No, we're not." And he grabbed my hand, and I literally, when I came out of the dream, I felt it. I felt myself get lifted on the top of the tsunami and rode it like just, you know,
Wow.
as if I were surfing it with him. And then I stopped. It stopped, and I landed perfectly on my feet. He was gone. I saw him leave, go out of the corner, and I landed on the sand. The sun was shining. There was starfish around me, and I looked down and I saw foam. And I looked at my body, and I was naked, and I heard Aphrodite. And I'll never forget coming out of that dream state. That was a total rebirth of letting go of fear
Wow.
and embracing the tsunami as part of that shadow, that yes, even the shadow is my friend.
Mm.
So it was very profound. I'll never, ever forget it. I thought, wow, that was really something. I just wanted to share that. I had forgotten about it. And then it just came up as, you know, we were talking about all this stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
amazing. And that just seems on so many levels as well, doesn't it? Like, because water in dreams often represents emotions, but it's this is what we're doing now. We're riding these waves, and yeah, they're not just little surf waves, are they? They are like big tsunami waves. I think a lot of people have had tsunami dreams. I had one nowhere near as profound as yours, but it was just quite funny. So I was living in a tent at the time when I was in Australia, and I dreamt that I got up and I was going into my tent. No, I was just coming out of my tent. That was it. And I looked over there and there was a huge tsunami coming, and I closed my tent, like closed the zip, and laughed at myself thinking, that's not going to do much good, is it? There's a big tsunami behind you. And that was it. That was all the dream was.
Wow.
And a lot of people in Byron at the time had had tsunami dreams and felt like it was literal. But I'm feeling it's absolutely what we're going through at the moment. Like, you know, these waves really are tsunami waves, and they're just constant. You know, back in the day, 20 years ago, you'd have space between these waves. You know, a
Yeah.
little bit of time, a month or so, recover.
One a year.
Yeah. Now it is constant. So, and it feels like they're what's the word? They're all happening at the same time. So this wave's going on, and then as that one dips down, the next one is coming in. So there's a peak at the same time as a trough, you know, and we're kind of like the waves. No wonder our body's getting discombobulated, because these waves are going like this all the time.
Pushing up all of the imprints that, you know, are keeping us limited and down and heavy. And in, like, you know, if we go with that flow of the river, of the wave, and just say, okay, you know, I'm ready to let this go now. With your help, with your support, I give thanks. You know, I'm ready to let this go. I give thanks. It makes a difference.
Stops the resistance as well, doesn't it?
And I also feel we are extracting ourselves from the belief programming and therefore a reality of linear time. And so you talking about different waves happening, it's not linear. We're now in a very physical way moving into quantum. It's and for me, 3D inverted matrix patriarchy is time.
Yes.
And so everything is like work 9 to 5, you know, be in the past, be in the future, don't be in the now, don't be here. So as it's a physical change that we're extracting ourselves from. It's so linked. We value everything, we judge by time. So yeah, when you were sort of doing about the waves, Denise, I'm like, that's because it's not linear. It's we're getting into moving into a spiral, and then
Yeah, nice.
You know, I also love when you look at the Gregorian calendar. That calendar was created by the patriarchy for consumerism, for money, for having a job and making sure you do that. The true calendars, and there's different ones based on different cultures, but if you look at the Mayan, the sacred year calendar, which actually ironically starts on, you know, the galactic new year starts on my birthday.
oh.
And goes right into the Lion's Gate. And I'm a Leo, and I'm thinking I knew nothing about this until I learned it from Celia Fenn. And these gateways, you have the new year starts on July the 26th. This is one particular calendar, right? And it goes into the 8/8, and then it goes to the 11/11 is the second one, and then it goes to the 2/2 in February, and then it goes to the 5/5/5. So we just ended the sacred year calendar on the 5/5/5.
Oh,
The
wow.
next calendar year that begins in the sacred calendar, the sacred year, will be on, starting on July the 26th onto the 8/8. But, and it depends on, there's the Mayan calendar, there's the, if you look at some of the Celtic, if you're looking at the Wiccan, I mean, it depends on whatever you like, but those calendars feel so much better to me. Even spring is the beginning of the new, it's the birth.
Yeah.
It just makes so much more sense. And it's not about watching a clock.
No,
There's
exactly.
no clock. It's like,
No.
who made this up?
Exactly.
And why? To keep us
Yeah.
controlled.
Yeah, I was doing a live once and was tuning into Family of Light Galactic, and they went, take off your watch. And I'm like, they've just said to me, I was doing it live, take off my watch. Oh, and I took it off, and then they went, no, we can hear that you're going to put it back on again. So then I threw it across the room. I went, yeah, now you've broken it. That's great. And I'm like, oh my God, I was wearing it, that programming, physically wearing that attachment.
Yeah.
And so I've not had that programming. Yeah.
I tend to know what time it is. Like, I haven't worn a watch for years. I used to have a watch as a nurse for when you're like taking somebody's pulse or whatever. But I haven't actually worn one for a long time. And I tend to, not even with the sun necessarily, but just have a feeling of, if I'm curious about what time it is and I'll have a guess, I'm usually pretty accurate. Even when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, it feels like such and such a time. And I look and I'm like, it is pretty much. So I think we have an innate sense of knowing what the time is, even though it's not real.
Right. I mean, I haven't worn a watch for, I don't even know how long. Of course, I have my cellular phone, which has but I usually like to look for angel numbers. That's the only reason why I still look at it. It's like, oh, it's 333. Thank you.
And doing things in a linear way, like having, like I tend to do a weekly show, but it's rarely on the same day. I can't have a Love Speaks Love every Thursday. I just can't do it. I can't work in that way. And that's been for a long time.
Yeah.
But it just, like monthly, when you can choose when it is in the month, that's great. Or once a week at a certain day. But yeah, doing things on a particular day just doesn't appeal to me at all these days. Way too fixed and linear and just not in the flow.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, with, I don't want to say ascension symptoms, the ascension changes that we go through sometimes. It's like, I don't want to make too many plans because I never know I'm going to be
exactly.
time. I want to stay to some degree, in a place of balance where, okay, even on a day when I may not be feeling my best, I can ride through it even gently and easily, and maybe do less, but I'd like to keep some momentum going. And then on some days, I'm going to just give myself a timeout and just rest. And like you said, just be and do nothing.
And in those times, there's so much going on in our bodies that we're not so much. Knitting is the word. I've never described what's going on in my body is knitting, but it's like things are knitting together, and like woven I've used a lot. That's funny that it's knitting, but yeah, there's so much going on inside, and sometimes we have to be active for that as well. Like we said before, it just really varies, and it can vary from 1 hour, 1 minute to the next. It's like, oh, I need to rest. Oh, I need to run. You know, I need to I need to go for a walk now. Yeah, strange times. Very unprecedented, everything that we're, which is interesting as well, because we've got no previous experience really that will help with all this.
A little, only in, yes, step by step. Because like shamanically, that term, shamanically, everything is very fluid, and I've been tuning in more, especially where I've moved to, working with the Fae, and so they're very, in a way you could say, shamanic, as in shape shifting, fluidity, in the flow, which is very different from rigidity and control and certainty and being mapped out. It's like, no, throw away the map, you know. So the whole, like, doing journeys that has been, especially when I went on workshops and training and whatever, shamanic wise, in the Western, based here in the British Isles, the journeying, the tuning in, connecting with spirit was inward.
Yes.
Was go inward.
Yeah.
And then one class I was at, I was feeling them around me with my eyes open. And so then I started doing the journey inwardly and then opening my eyes, and I was doing both. I didn't tell the teacher I was doing both. And then I was saw a few documentaries about indigenous shamans, and they don't just do the one.
Yeah.
They don't go inward. So I'm like, that's maybe a step for sort of Western people to move into remembering how to be with spirit and other dimensions, to like switch on and off. But we're moving out of, I feel, collectively, from the idea that we always used to have the thing of like every Samhain we move, the veils are thin. Now my experience, a bit what you're saying, Denise, is that's constant now, magnified 1 trillion billion times. The feeling I used to get every year with, and I used to believe, you get enough people believing in Samhain, it will bring the veils down. I thought it's not actually the veils are down, it's because people are thinking the veils are coming down. That's what I felt. I felt and I didn't say this to anybody at times. I think nobody, they'll go, oh no, what are you on about? But now I'm like, we are awakening, we are shifting ourselves from thinking we have to be one place or the other place. And so, sorry, I'm getting, it's kind of a big thing I'm trying to, so I feel we've been practicing, learning. So for me, shape shifting is awakened state of being. It's in my experience, when I've experienced different dimensional resonance, everything is fluid. It's not literal 3D. Yeah. It's transmutable. Because it's not 3D. So there's something that's happening, I feel, which is complete, is magical. And the other, my family of lights going, it's never happened before, where we are holding all this, bringing it in, all this transmutability, all this shape shifting for one owner in the physical. We're doing something new creatively. We're bringing together the different dimensional states of being into the physical. This is new. This is what I've been, this is what I've been told
I like what you said, because it's like, there's something about the ancient rootedness of the ancient ways that it gives us some kind of a platform, a stability. But we're like I gave up a lot of practices from stuff I learned many, not that, again, I appreciated them. They gave me what I needed at the time, but I realized those practices gave me a foundation. But I firmly believe that now you take those rooted ways and you birth something new, because we are in a new world and it's going to keep unfolding. And we have the roots of the ancient with the new age of the now to birth into something new and move forward into the future. We're all connected anyway, but to stay only in the old way of doing things, I knew one day, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't feel right. What's going on with me? Why do I had a yoga practice that I was religious about. And I'm like, I said, no, I don't want to do it. Am I being stubborn? Am I being difficult? I don't know, but I just don't want to do it. So I laid there, and after having a good cry, feeling, like, what's the matter? What do I do? My body started moving in a different way. It was very fluid and round. And I took the yoga postures and I turned them into a rhythmic dance. And that shifted my whole energy. I felt like a completely different person. Like something within me unfolded from that ancient rooted way into a birthing of something brand new that I'd never experienced before, just like what you said. And I think that is exactly what ascension is about. We take the old practices, whatever pathway, because it's our ancestors, and that is, I want to honor the ancestors. We also want to honor the child in me who wants the spontaneity of something new and wonderful and exciting to happen now that's different, something that I can create. So I think that's a huge realization that, yes, the ancient roots with the new age of now, birthing into something, creating our magical miracles and having these opportunities to really like go beyond what we think we're capable of, to really let ourselves step into that place of, I can create something so different and so new, and it could be so exciting. Can I take the step and do it?
Yeah.
And that makes jumping off into the abyss so much easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got that, all our ancestors, totally singing and dancing with us. And I did a course recently, and I put that ancient world, new world coming together. I actually put that in. I put that. So what you've just said, I feel so much. I feel it's so amazing what's happened tonight, because it's all obviously sort of meant to be. We're all talking. And I'm not used. Somebody said it recently. The word paradox. Yeah. I'm like, I'm just gonna say paradox, because that moves me out of the separation dualistic way of thinking to just let it be. Like you say, Denise, also like surrendering. There's something freeing, expansive, because then we allow ourselves to be carried, like you were saying, Maryanne, along the wave.
Yes.
You don't surrender as in war. I surrender.
Yeah.
I've failed.
Yeah.
It's changing the energy of that. It's choosing like surrender as a joyous thing. But I think that's why there's a lot of, for me, it's pivotal, that word, because it holds so much tension, and that's what's wondrous about it, because it holds the shadow programming and the light. Yeah. So when we say surrender, it's like, whoa, can we dissolve that old programming of I failed, the polarity, to whoa, I ecstatically, blissfully surrender. Really let yeah, makes me think about going mad and that wild part.
I like that because there's a time for surrender, which is the feminine, the mother, and then there's a time for action. And it's that balance, because if we stay in total surrender all the time, then nothing gets created. But if we're always going and doing and keep being, you know, that can lead to balance too. So we can kind of surrender, let ourselves settle in and just really anchor into the earth and be receptive and open and let that be, and then take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm going to take some kind of conscious action here. And then when it's time again, I'm going to step back and rest. And so it's this dance of shadow, light, you know, meandering in and out, navigating, going in and out of these places that maybe I have not, you know, visited before. You know, it's like, well, what's this? You know, if I take the action, I'll find out, okay, that's been a bit much, but now I want to rest and take care and rejuvenate myself. And when it's time, I'll take another step and take the action to create. Because I feel that the closest way to get to our own unique divinity, or, you know, we're all sparks of source creator in human form, is when we get into the magical child of creating, you know, getting to a place of spontaneity, of creating, of really just saying, okay, I'm gonna try this. And could I fail? Maybe, but the good thing is, even if I do, I could always start again. I could turn the page and start writing again. You know, I could create something new. A new story can unfold as a result. So I do think it's this dance, you know, that we come in and out of receptivity, surrender to action and movement and ideas, you know, balancing out those two energies of masculine and feminine, bringing them together and, you know, let them dance, let them have, you know, their time and come into that harmony. This is the time for it.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Yeah, beautifully articulated there. Thank you. I'm wondering, do we have any light language that wants to come through?
I just had that.
Yeah, I was just feeling that, like, woo. Yeah, why not? It's always nice to have some language of the soul dancing through us and out into the world.
Who would like to start off?
Mor kostod viaran soria shakotur ian siar pushaya. Mal urva kos urvia siara nasha kasurva hiera. Kasudira yinsara yesha kasur viariariariariariara kosondoria. Meshkore vi siala isa konoshayata. Andor via arvo kos ura shuk sukta ikatura. Mashokosora vahiara karasotoria yeshka mus arvar urkakia makia kwasa kwa katura vahiara shukus ashkas vasas vashas ashakata shakatu.
Yes, there is. Oh my God, Liz. There is. Look, this one is going out there. Okay, that's why I'm calling.
Yes, yum. Is it a
Kia harad oren inte era. Hopper la het in. Kia le hrnokokokol. Malakara tek ishtara. Kule kial era. Balai tatataro. Hol eke tatarlik oren naka. Papapala ke le kiara. Hole kiara la na korele kiam. Stekelle kia parla ke ditorit ke la paket a ke le pekele ke le paket le paket le paket ke le ekit et usta ta an hole ke ala kianat oista ma povele pa para ke tira malaket test at paket ke khut un malahan ek it ast Kula kei Kia paran ai eket ain ust oya. Makula kiara ant oi parlaka a. Neki erst ut ora. Puket ai lekiket ut unna kastata ta 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 ta. Holakan ist atata. Up a it e. Malakian ustataan. Lekia lakuistadar. Melekiat ona. Oh, thank you both so much.
Thank
It was a
you.
joy and an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
It's been a real pleasure. Like we've the three of us have shared space together, but not just the three of us. You know, we've been in bigger groups together. So this this felt very, very potent, very special. Thank you both for stepping in, hearing the call. And that was, yeah, powerful Trinity transmission there. Thank you both. And thank you everyone who's watching as well. Thank you for all your comments. What else to say? There might not be a Love Speaks Love next week, or it might be a spontaneous one, but I am going to Glastonbury next week.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I'm spending 2 nights at the Chalice Wells, the accommodation there, so I can go to the Chalice Well Garden anytime while I'm there. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, hoping to get at least one gathering going while I'm there. So yeah, it'll be interesting how it all pans out. Okay, so anything else to say? Just thank you, really.
Yes,
Thank you
gratitude.
both so much. Yeah.
Yeah, remember tomorrow is the new moon in Taurus. Set your intentions. You know, fill your senses, because it's all about sensory. Taurus is all about the senses. Let your senses come alive. Enjoy this beautiful new moon blessings, and just be kind and gentle with yourselves. Rest when you need to. Take action when you're feeling it. And just, you know, remember that we're all incredible beings. We're all here sharing the common thread of humanity on this incredible path, and no one can do what you came here to do. So when we come together, we create the wholeness from our hearts with love. And may we all receive peace as well in unity. So lots of love, and thank you. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say, Zahara?
I'll end up singing for a long time, so I think joy, love you both, love. Let's all sing our hearts out. Let's all it's to be in joy. Remember that. Find that in all moments where possible, and yeah.
And remember to drop into your hearts.
Yeah.
It's where the joy lives. All right. Thank you everybody for being with us. It's been beautiful to feel your presence, or everyone watching. It is a co-creation, even if you're not speaking with us on screen. It's very much a collective, whether you're here live or on the replay or on YouTube. So thank you, everybody. Mwah.
Love. Bye-bye.
Love, 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 love.